Hi, I'm Simon Young from DuncanFitnessCentre.com, and I'm going to show you some alternatives for lean eating phase 8 workout number 1 with a band. So the first exercise pairing we're going to look at is the front to rear lunge and the plank with the arm reach. Now both of these in the lean eating workout are body weight, so I want to give you a couple of tips on them. The first one is that front to rear lunge. We want to keep the hips and shoulders nice and square. We want to make sure that when we go back into our reverse lunge, we're loaded through the midsole and the heel, and we're driving through that midsole and heel to bring ourselves to upright. And then when we step forward, we're going to load the other midsole and heel. Hips are nice and square. You step back and down. Nice near vertical shin, loaded midsole and heel. You step up. We step forwards. I'm going to load the midsole and heel on the other leg. So I'm just going to place so you can see it's happening. There's the reverse. There's the forwards. So we're looking for that nice near vertical shin. Do all your reps for one leg, then do all your reps for the other. Then we have a plank with an arm reach. Pad up the floor to protect your elbows and go into your plank. Now you can go on forearms or on palms. What you've got to make sure you don't do is collapse that lower back. Resist into it, no shrugging. Alternate the arm reach. Depending on where you're at, you might choose to do this from a top plank position. Add in the arm reach. Make it trickier, you'll bring your feet close together. But do not let that lumbar spine collapse. Next up, we're going to look at the alternating press and the alternating lateral lunge. Find a secure mounting point for your band and fasten that band on to that mounting point. So I use a little looped band. I just cinch it onto my mounting point. You need a fairly strong band. Something like a black band is probably about the right thing. Now take your band and stand inside it. So by standing inside the band, I can then place the band over my palms along the outside of my arms. Stagger the stance, square out the hips, squeeze the bum on the back leg, pull the band apart a little bit, feel your shoulder blades pull together. You then alternately press that band away from your body. Too easy. Little step forward to increase the amount of work. I'm punching out to a sort of 10 or 11 o'clock position. Alternating the punch, but I'm not letting my hips move. Next set, switch the legs the other way around, or you can switch the mid-set if you choose. Then you're looking at the alternating lateral lunge. You want to make sure you keep your back nice and flat, and you push your hips over and back, pushing the hips as far back as you can, reaching for the wall while trying to keep the knee, ankle, hip aligned. So you're going to step over, push the hips back. I push the arms forward, that helps me push my hips back. I then drive up to the top. I go over and up to the other side. So when I go over and back, I really push my hips back, keeping a nice flat back. I'm loaded through here. That's what I use to push up to the top. Finally, we're looking at an alternative for the inverted row. The inverted row has a lot of core in it, so we need to add core to a row motion. You take the appropriately challenging band. You do a standing, staggered stance row. Hips are nice and square. Squeeze your bum, tilt your pelvis. Pull your shoulder blade down and back. Control it. It'll try to pull you forwards. Don't let that happen. Brace those abs. No arching. It doesn't matter how far back your elbow goes. That's not the issue. It's think about your shoulder blade going down and back like you're trying to tuck your shoulder blade into your back pocket. Once the shoulder blades stop moving, that's the end of the repetition. So when I run, it doesn't matter if my shoulder blade stops moving there or there. It's whatever the range of motion is for that shoulder blade, not for how far back the elbow goes. Then we've got the rear foot elevated split squat with a pulse. I'm grinning because it's quite a tricky one, especially when we add the band in, because the band is going to want to pull you sideways. You're probably going to need a red band. So, when we've got this band in place, as I say, the band's going to want to turn you. Don't let that happen. You've got to keep those abdominals engaged, keep it braced. The other thing is, don't shrug your shoulders. One of the common faults is shoulders come up in everyday life. Keep those shoulders down when you do the pressing away. So you go into your rear foot elevated position. You find your position 1. You press out, control it back. You do your 5 reps with no turn in the midsection. The shoulders and hips stay in line. When you've done 5 reps, you come up to your mid position. You do your 5 reps. Do not let those hips turn. Do not let the band pull you over. You want a mild tension. You come up to your top position. Make sure you're loaded in the heel of that front leg. Do not let those hips turn. You do one leg, then you do the other. What I would do is, if I was doing my left leg, I have the band on the right side, and then I turn around to do the other leg, so I do my right leg with the band on the left side. So that is Lean Eating for Women, Phase 8, workout number 1.